China figures prominently in this year's Forbes list of the world's richest people. The number of Chinese billionaires, yes, that is with a B, doubled last year. Forbes said that there were 89 billionaires in China, including Hong Kong, second only to the United States, which had 403 billionaires last year. For more on this list, we're joined once again by Robin Farzad, senior writer for Bloomberg Business Week. Thanks for joining us, Robin.
Hi,
nice
how are you?
to see you. I'm good, thank you. Two-thirds of last year's newly minted billionaires came from Asia. Tell us a little bit about who these new Asian billionaires are and how they've made their money.
Money, 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 money. Money. That's the name of the game in this case.
That's what everybody wants.
Indeed. Look, China, to the Western eye, really it's a shocking thing when you visit the country, especially on the coast. There are all these different manufacturing bases, and there's cities that specialize, say, in one piece of textile or one industry such as toys, and these are eminently cornerable markets. You can, in this environment, fill the vacuum for a good because the rest of the world is still using China as its factory and become a very successful entrepreneur, oftentimes, if you do it for long enough, to the tunes of billions of dollars.
So these are people who have made their money, but they have made it. They're self-made billionaires. I mean, they're not people that inherited their wealth, right? So, I mean, so what do you think, what larger observation then can be made about China's economy based just on that fact alone?
That so much of it is still up for grabs. I think it's analogous, and somewhat of this is cliche, to compare it to the United States during the late 19th century, the early 20th century, and the progressive movement. You had barons, some of them benevolent, most of them robber barons, realizing that there was a market. For example, steel would be big this century, railroads would be big, others talking about oil. And China, which is coming off of really a spectacular decade, is seeing unbelievable growth multiples in these areas. So suddenly you can become, for example, the wealthiest self-made woman in China runs Nine Dragons Paper Company, which specializes in sending boxes back to the United States in empty containers and back and forth to recycle them so we can turn around and sell more electronics back in this cheap cardboard papering. And that's something that nobody would have thought of, but she's worth several billions of dollars. And there are tens of people like this.
So in addition to China, the number of Indian billionaires is also soaring, and then that figure doubled last year. In fact, the richest billionaires come not from China, but they come from India. What's happening in India to make that possible? I mean, apart from the fact that the economy has been liberalizing steadily for quite a number of years now.
There are some massive conglomerates which almost resemble Japanese companies and all the different subsidiaries they can bring under them. Tata, for example, Infosys was massive. You have these IT outsourcing firms that are very big, and just like some sucking sound, especially for the better part of 12 years, they've been taking all of this business over there, and the barons of these companies, the captains, have become enormously wealthy. It's no surprise, really.
Right. And according to the Forbes list, the wealthiest man, the wealthiest person in the world, he is a man, he is from a developing country, he is Mexican, and his name is Carlos Slim. We both know who he is, but for our audience who perhaps doesn't know very much about him, tell us a little bit about who he is.
Masterfully powerful son of immigrants, I believe Lebanese immigrants there in Mexico, and he has cornered the market on there's a chain called Sanborns. He has most of the telecom assets in Mexico. This is almost a self-fulfilling thing. If you have dry powder, if you have money at a time when Mexico was in a collapse such as 1995, and you can collect these assets, you can so reap the benefits when the entire global economy snaps back. It's not that Mexico is such a spectacular story. It's that he was the right person, the right man at the right place.
All right. Robin Farzad, good to see you again.
Thank you, Dodgy. Appreciate it.